Hi, hello everyone. So today I just wanted to share my experience and talk about my body image journey and where that has led me so far. Honestly, I just wanted to feel like I'm not alone with these issues. Probably that's the case, because sadly enough, a lot of people can relate to having trouble with accepting themselves. Unfortunately, that's part of the human experience. But let's get into it. This is such a huge topic. Okay, as a child, I grew up almost never noticing my body. I just put on whichever clothes I could find and run outside, the faster the better. Go to school, go to dance class, and do whatever I had to do, never worrying about how people perceive my appearance. I was a free-spirited, just careless little creature. A very happy little creature. I never noticed differences in people's appearances. My friends and I, my parents and all the other grown-ups I knew of, they were all just equal for me. No better or no worse. And I thought that was the only way to think about things like that. And honestly, that's true. That is the only way to think about that. But society forces you to think otherwise when you grow up, because you have all these stereotypes which you have to fit in to be correct. Never would I ever have thought to compare people on their looks. And whenever I would hear something like that, the idea of that would sound so impossible for me, unattainable, weird, and it never made sense. It never made sense when I would hear adults talking about someone and being like, oh, she did not look that great today. Maybe she's depressed, or maybe something is happening in her personal life, maybe. And it's so weird. I always thought that everyone is equal. No one has to prove anything to anyone, and no one is in the place to judge you, and it's okay for you to be you. That's it. And I guess that thought was buried somewhere deep in my head, but I would start getting triggered as a child. I would be triggered whenever I would hear someone talking about or making a comment on whoever's appearance. Because those same exact words that were once said to me, that same exact comment that I memorized for some reason unintentionally, those same exact words, said in a joking manner, they would always show up in my head and just live there rent-free, and I had no control over that. Then for a while, I was that girl, and I was really confident. I was 15. It was summer. I put on my shorts. I went outside, and when I got back home, my grandmother said something about my legs. And I was like, what about my legs? And she said, nothing. They're just so womanly. Okay, what does that mean? And she did not use any harsh words to describe what womanly was. But I got the impression that, well, basically they're too fat. Not ideal. Not the ones that you would like to have. And yeah, I could not have taken that lightly. My grandmother used the word womanly as a word to describe a flaw. And I started viewing femininity as something to be ashamed of, as something you have to cover up, as it's so unlikable. And then again, there was a period of time where I was really confident in myself, but here's the deal. I used a lot of makeup, a lot of hairspray, a lot of brand new girly clothes, a lot of spending money on brand new girly clothes, a lot of shoes with heels, a lot of hours of getting ready to cover myself up, to finally feel good about myself, to finally feel worthy. During that time, everyone was so nice to me. Like, so nice to me. I would always get compliments, and I would act like those kind words didn't mean anything to me, but obviously it did. And my grandmother was always so proud to show pictures of me to her friends. And her friends would always gossip and talk about how beautiful I am. They would compare me to the beauty of a model, and they would always talk about what great future is ahead of me because of my looks. And you would think, yeah, this is the goal. What could be better? What could you wish for? But honestly, I was so stuck in this box that I created. I literally could not take the trash out without getting fully ready. Kind of had to live in this character that I created. It was not healthy. Then came a time where I did not care at all what people thought of me. I knew for a fact that I did not want to find love. I actually wanted quite the opposite. I want to avoid it, the more the better. And I was really focusing on myself. And then I realized that I was okay with dressing comfortably. I was okay with not wearing makeup. I was okay with wearing baggy clothes to kind of cover up my body and avoid the fact that I actually have a body. I just wanted to feel shapeless, invisible in a good way. And I really related to something that Billie Eilish always said. How can you judge my body if you've never seen it? So yeah, I was covering myself up. But I was still comparing myself to all of the other girls who were naturally skinny, naturally built different, and I was jealous. When I finished school, I didn't go to college right away. I had a gap year, and during that gap year, I was almost living in my own world. Because I never went out, and all the people that I was talking with, they were really accepting of me, and I had nothing to prove, and it felt really comfortable. And so my social circle was really narrow and small, and it was just good for my mental health. I still covered up my body, but I didn't feel any judgment. So I guess I fell out of the reality for a while. But currently, I am back in the reality. I have to face a lot of people on a daily basis, especially because I chose a very visual career, a very communicative career. So that's hard. Yeah, so basically, I'm studying acting. And acting really requires you to be flexible and strong. They basically want you to be a blank canvas, and whichever colors the painter puts on you, it just works. You know, it's just weird because I put a lot of effort into myself. I always work out, I always stretch, I'm flexible, and my body is constantly in pain because I always push myself to the limits. Furthermore, the college where I study acting at, they push me to the limits, and we always have a lot of physical exercises. We have folk dance, ballet, combat, stage movement, and all of that. And honestly, there is never a time where you're not hurting because you're just forced to always be in shape. What about eating? Well, sometimes I do starve myself because I want to feel good about myself, and I guess being skinnier would help. I don't know. I do starve myself. I go days without eating anything, just drinking tea and water. And like, I don't know any other people who do that. I mean, none of my classmates do that. A lot of people I know who are built beautifully, who are so comfortable in their bodies. They exercise less than me. They eat more than me. And it's like, what am I doing wrong? What's wrong with me? Because I'm trying. It hurts, but I'm trying. And I don't see the payoff. And the thing is, no one would ever think that I have these thoughts. Because I'm slim. I know I'm slim, but I'm not built the way I would like to be built. It just feels like I'm in the wrong body. Not gender-wise, but appearance-wise.
Yeah, so I did not film an outro for this. I forgot to. And I guess I should have said something inspiring, like, accept yourself, be kind to yourself. And that's all good. But I just feel like I'm not at all in the position to tell you these things. Just because you can all tell that I'm still struggling with this and I'm still a mess. But the best thing that I could do is make a part 2 on this topic. I already filmed it, actually. It's a phone call with my mom. I'm basically coming out to her about my body image issues. And yeah, she told me some pretty good stuff. She gave me good advice. And I'm still trying to soak it in as much as I can. So yeah. Please watch part 2. It's gonna be good. Have a good day. Bye.